us to stream.
Oh no,
that was Paddy. That was a static. That wasn't our. Oh well.
No, we're live.
We're live. Yeah, we're live. Do you still want the intro, everybody? Do people want the intro? I'm going to put on the intro. Do you know what? Why not? Why not? Because we can. Because we're in 6th place and we can do it.
So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Up the Villa. See this. This is the beauty about this podcast. Where no, there we go. We're fine. So up the Villa from a brilliant room number 16 in the Aston Social, and Aston Villa are in 6th place, as you can see. Drunk Paddy and 6th place Neil. We said we pop on before things get even more hairy later on, but like for a game, Paddy, it was so-so. All right, it was a boring enough game, but we won it 2-0, and that's the mark of a team that are number one together, and number two know what they're doing, and I'll throw in a number three, a team we should be ready to be excited about. We should be ready to be excited about this team. We're in 6th place. When we started this week, we were on level points with Chelsea. We're now 7 points ahead of Chelsea. That's the turnaround in this week. And I'm here for it, Paddy. I'm here for it forever. Like, give me weeks like this until the day I pass off this earth, because it was fantastic.
Neil, it wasn't a boring game. Not in the slightest a boring game. It was brilliant. It was a game of chess. We scored just after half time. We just waited and picked them off. It was majestic. It actually looks like we're on different screens here, are we?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's because of the divide.
We're gonna put my arm around you.
We can reach into each other's camera now, like, you know, that's the way it is. But Unai Emery, obviously, when we did the team sheet tantrum, which I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed, and I remember, that's brilliant as well. Remembering it is fantastic too. But we get into the game in a moment, but I just want to talk about the whole experience of today, because obviously, you know, it's been almost a year to the day since I was over. Paddy obviously gets over an awful lot more. And I must say, the last day or the last 36 hours has been absolutely amazing. Like, it's just been, we're a team on the up, we're on the crest of a wave. And like, a couple of things just happened today that were just, you know, if we were to pay to meet Brian Little. Well, we nearly did last night, by the way. We nearly did pay to meet Brian Little last night, because we could have paid to meet him. But we met him today outside the ground, and we had a chat with him. And like, little things like that are just, you know, it's the beauty about being over here. It's the beauty about being at Villa Park. It's the beauty about, you know, the all winds rise winds are creating such a fantastic feeling about this team. And Brian Little was giddy as a child, you know, when we met him today. And that's just unbelievable. So what I'm trying to get at here is that there's a feel-good factor permeating from the legends of the Brian Littles down to the flutes of Paddy and Neil here, and much on beyond, because it's like downstairs in the Aston Social. If you're looking to get a pint in the Aston Social tonight, I say start queuing now. You might get one before 10 o'clock, because the place is ram jam. Thank you, ma'am. That's the way it is at the moment, and it's fantastic. Spicy Pricey. I met Spicy Pricey earlier on today. It was great. He just said yes, Neil and Paddy. I met him today. We met the boys from up the Villa. We're still efforting to meet Pete the Canadian yet. We haven't gotten to meet him. That was my fault. Pete, if you're watching, I do apologize. I was supposed to meet him at the McGregor statue at 1 o'clock, and I missed his message. But you know, it's been absolutely fantastic, Paddy. And before we get into the game as well, I'm going to tell it's Paddy's story to tell, but I'm going to tell it because I'm that type of person, right? I'm that type of person. I'm that type of person who will tell you about what you did at your own birthday party. But so this kind of encapsulated to, I was inside in the club shop, and I was picking up a few pieces, and Paddy was outside waiting for me. And picking up his few pieces. And a player that will remain unnamed and the reason we'll keep him unnamed is not because there's anything bad in it or whatever like that, but Paddy was just standing against the bollard. And next thing, all of a sudden, a car pulls up. And the driver rolls down the window, and a player leans across the driver and pointed Paddy and goes, "Stay positive and be nice." And Paddy goes, "To who?" And he goes, "Everyone, up the Villa," and then just drove off. So absolutely amazing. Like, weird and wonderful things are happening at Aston Villa, and weird and wonderful things are happening to myself.
But isn't it amazing that a current first team player knew who I was? Whatever about you, everyone fucking knows you.
Probably took a shot in the dark, Paddy.
So he knew who I was, leaning there against the pillar, kind of half getting into I'd say into a nearly a hangover at that stage, because we've been out all last night and then today. So for that guy to pull up, and you came out of the shop, and I was grey, wasn't I?
Oh, that was it. Like, he was white, he was pale as a ghost, and I walked out, and Paddy goes, "You'll never guess what happened." And in fairness to Paddy, usually when he says that, I probably won't guess what's happened. But excuse me, like, he goes, and he told me the story, and I went, "That's mental. That's just crazy." So we're going to say that the unnamed player knew who you were. Because if he didn't, it was a absolutely incredible coincidence. Incredible coincidence. Otherwise, yeah. So other people I met today is obviously last night, met Bardell and everything. I got to play. I waved the Ty Bracey. I saw him down the bottom. He said just have to text me there. That's why I'm saying it. But yeah. So it's look, it's been a great day. It's been a fantastic day, and look, we came out of it with the win as well. We're talking about the game, Paddy. You tell me about the game.
We haven't talked about the game.
Yeah, I'm talking for ages. I'm kneeling down on the ground here. And actually, you're right. It does look like there's a divide, and we've got two different cameras. It does.
I'm actually in the same.
Yeah, we're in the same room.
Neil,
yeah.
You know what the worst thing is? We have to actually talk about the game, because the game was what it was. We got 3 points. We did it with diligence, work, patience.
Yes.
And for the first time since the Martin O'Neill era, in the stadium there was complete patience. Complete patience. It was just like incredible. It was silent. They let it go. Just after half time, bang. Bertie. Our friend Bertie.
Bertie, like, okay. Bailey starts and goes off with an injury. I think he'll be out for a couple of weeks. It looked like it was maybe a thigh injury again. But the thing with Bailey is like, and we're not going to go in on anyone. We're not going to be negative on anyone. But when Bailey went off, there was no need, exactly, because it's a squad game. It's a team game. Myself and actually, here's a tangent, right? Myself and Paddy were talking about this on the walk up to the actual game. We were talking about, about Eamon DC and him getting his medals and him refusing his medals and all this. And we were talking about how the strength of a squad is very important, because there's like it's like if you want your first 11 to be the best team that you can ever have, it's like driving with no brakes. You only need the brakes when you need them, when you need to stop. And having subs to come on, you only need him when you need him. When you need to change the game up. And Bertie came on, and Bertie's a maverick, and he's completely different to anything we have. At half the time, I'm convinced he doesn't know what he's doing, and that's great. And what happened was that cross he put in, the rebound, it ended up rebounding back to him after a sequence of events. No one knew he was crossing the ball except for him. And then it comes back to him, and he puts it in the back. He puts it in the back of the net, and it squeaks in by the post by that much. Like, it was right in the right where the post meets the net.
It was right where Ashley Barnes done it the other night.
Yeah,
just incredible finish.
Ashley, no, not Ashley Barnes, Harvey Barnes.
Oh yeah,
but
there's Tony Gale coming out.
Tony Gale, exactly, here beside me. But and fair play to Bertie. And when we were with Dan Bardell last night, he made a great point. When we were chatting, and he said, Bertie, the majority of Bertie's goals he scored for Villa would have been scored during lockdown time, with no fans in the stadium. And when he scored that goal during the week, he got to celebrate with fans. And when he scored the goal today, he definitely celebrated with the fans as well. So, that all that kind of stuff is absolutely fantastic. And once again, it breeds that feel-good factor. It breeds, and I'm okay with saying it. Aston Villa and Birmingham and the city of Birmingham and everything, being the second city in the UK, you have to have this us against them mentality, and it's a working class kind of blue collar mentality that when you win, and you do it dirty or you do it pretty or whatever, but it doesn't matter as long as you win.
But it doesn't have to be pretty.
And that's the thing. That's what we're saying. Yeah.
So we're in a situation now where we've got players who failed to perform before Christmas and are now incredible. They have bought into this whole system of being patient, waiting for your opportunity, picking them off, and then we're grinding out results. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. The people we met today, you know, everybody come up to us today, and it's just been an incredible day, hasn't it?
It
really has.
It's
because it's one thing me being at a match or you being at a match, but the two of us together, people are just going, "Who's that? Is that Neil and Paddy at the match?"
And it's amazing.
So everybody is of the same opinion. It's just been a workman-like.
Professional performances. Like Mike Hogan says it there, professional performances. That's what we're getting under Unai Emery.
But there's nothing else.
Alex Ferguson won about 5 of his league titles from just winning dirty games like that and winning. But you know what the best thing about it is? Winning them 2-0. Because when you win a game like that 2-0, and I know the goal came in injury time or whatever, or just close enough to it, but that really puts it to bed. And it kind of takes the whole, maybe we got a fluky win aspect out of it. The galvanizing mentality that will give a team is huge. And for Ollie Watkins lost his life when he scored. Did you see him? He took off the shirt and everything. Like
I've never seen him do that. Never seen him do that.
It was like he won 50 quid in a scratch card. He was absolutely beside himself. Like, he's not an emotional player. He lost his rag after he scored that goal.
I don't think 50 quid on a scratch card would mean much to Ollie Watkins.
50 quid in a scratch card means something to everybody.
It means something to us.
It means something to everybody.
We're kind of making that much money.
Exactly.
But in fairness, we just got to be so happy with what we have here. We have got to embrace what Unai Emery is doing here.
Yes.
And it's a case of we will never come out of Villa Park too often and go, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to be 3 points.
Has to be 3 points, yeah. And that's the beauty of it. Like, we've been long enough being kind of like bridesmaids and having moral victories and stuff like that, where we've gone to Man City and we've put it up to them and they've gotten a goal in the last minute or the time. Remember we played Liverpool, we were 1-0 up and all of a sudden Sadio Mane decides to turn it on and Kodja doesn't get to him at the front post and Mane clips it in 96th minute, and you know, things like that. We've had that. And that's where the professionalism comes in, Paddy, as well, because when you have a manager who accepts nothing less than structure, and structure is the minimum that you should have in a Premier League team. Like, call me old-fashioned, Paddy, but if I ran a company, I'd at least want everybody to know where they needed to be at any given time and what their roster was and what the expectations were. And that's what we have at the moment. And look, this isn't us kicking a former manager. We're not going to do that because we've done it a small bit, because we're looking forward now. We're not looking back. But that's the beauty of it. And I'm going to say it once again, and I've said it about 90 times since I've been over here. It cannot be underestimated that Aston Villa acted first, acted fast, and acted decisively to get Unai Emery into the team. Because you see Leicester putting the retreads on Jesse Marsh. You see Frank Lampard gone back to Chelsea. Yeah. You see Roy Hodgson gone back to Crystal Palace. You see, there could be a situation whereby Nottingham Forest are looking for a manager on Monday morning. It's mad. The Premier League has gone mad, and we're sitting there and we're comfortable and we've done our business early.
We did our business so early.
Yeah,
we got the man who we wanted. We have got. I know we spoke in jest today about the Europa League finals in Dublin next year.
Yes,
and all of a sudden
everyone can stay in our house.
We might be in the Europa League. We're sixth place. Sixth place. It's incredible. It's incredible. I have not, like, my son he'll be 18 in June, right?
Great birthday present.
He does not have any experience of us being good. Yeah. So to look at that now, it's a whole generation of people that we could be filling the stadium with who just don't remember what we had. Now, I went to, like, we had this the other night, we talked about it. I went to Atletico Madrid, I went to Strom's Godzit, I can't even say it.
Well, you said it better now with a couple of points than you did when you were sober last time. Yeah.
But these are amazing experiences. So you're looking at fellas who are 18, 19 years of age, have never seen Villa do this.
Mm.
It's incredible. Well, they've seen them, but they were 3 or 4 years of age when Martin O'Neill.
And when realistically speaking, we didn't take it seriously.
So now
we did. That's unfair.
And you know what? If we don't get into Europe, it's absolutely fine.
It's gravy.
I'm actually okay with it.
It's gravy on top of the chips. Yeah?
I am 100% okay with it, because I know in my heart and soul that when we have this conversation next year, we're getting there.
Yeah,
I know we're getting there next year.
I think so
it's
too.
Definitely going to happen. I'd love it to happen this year, because my son has finished school and he's going to experience something amazing if it happens. And we just got to embrace it and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't happen, that's okay. We'll go again next year with this guy who just has an amazing work ethic to keep fellas on their toes. Fellas who we'd never... I'd be a little bit more reserved talking about some fellas, but look what he's done with Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins.
It's like Ollie Watkins has been good all the time, isn't it?
There we go.
But no, you're dead right. And do you know what? Do you know what encapsulated it even more, Paddy, today was who came off the bench today? Leander and Donker. A man we've barely seen since Stevenage. But you know what? Actually, we've barely seen him since he signed. And you know, when a manager decides, I need something different in midfield, I'm going to bring this guy on. Like certain managers, like we've all been down the line of Trezeguet comes on for Enver El Ghazi and Enver El Ghazi comes on for Trezeguet, and that's just the way it goes, you know. And these pre-prescribed substitutions. Then Donker comes on, McGinn gets pushed further forward. Donker comes on to protect the middle midfield. McGinn presses like a lunatic, and Ollie Watkins. Look, Watkins' goal didn't come from McGinn doing that, but we were able to pressure further forward, and I won't say we haven't been screaming for it, but Villa fans have seen John McGinn scoring goals in that position for Scotland, and John McGinn was given that opportunity today, and he didn't disappoint. And one of the beautiful things I think about this game today, Paddy, was, you know, I was talking afterwards, and I think it's actually on up the Villa podcast. I think it might have been. I think our conversation was caught on camera for it, and it's going to be up there. But I couldn't pick a man in the match. And that's a brilliant thing to have, because that means the team is cohesive.
That's what you want.
Exactly. And we're going to discuss that now.
You don't want to be picking a goalkeeper, that means you're under pressure. You don't want to be picking a defender, that means you're under pressure. You want a workman-like performance where you go, we've got 11 fellas. We've got 11 fellas who have bought into this situation that we can do whatever we like and they will be there. And that's what they've done. And you can't ask for more than that.
Absolutely.
You really can't.
Absolutely. We're going to discuss man of the match in a moment, because I've actually got live footage of
how good does that look? My bit of fraud.
I got footage of Ollie Watkins' goal, and we're going to do a little kind of a snapshot of our weekend here, just a small video.
Does that include Aston Expressway going?
We're looking out here at Aston Expressway here at the moment. Yeah, and I can confirm, Roadwatch can confirm that traffic is light at the moment, so if you're traveling, you'll be fine. But I want to say one thing before we get on to that as well, and thanks, Anne, for reminding me, because I did say I would say it, but I want to say a big, massive happy birthday to Donagh O'Grady out there. Donagh is his birthday today, and Villa winning on his birthday, I know it's going to be an awful lot to him. So, man, absolutely
happy birthday,
Donagh, and thanks a million, Anne, for always watching the podcast. And I'm going to see, I should bring a pen and paper around with me the whole time, because about 40
because you have it in your phone.
Yeah, well, I have it in my phone, but I can't look at it now, so a pen and paper would have been handy. But a lot of people have we were talking to a lot of people, you know, over the course of the day today. I just met a man by the name of Trevor from Kildare. I met him downstairs. Thanks very much, Trevor. We met a man by the name of John outside the. I hope his son actually got the John Duran signature, because he was. I tell you one thing: if he had wire cutters, he would have cut the fence down and ran in himself to get it. A fair play to him, you know. That's great. And that was it, Paddy. After the game, the kids were bubbling, you know, they were bubbling, and that's the beauty of it.
The kids are the future. The kids are these 20,000 season ticket holders potentially getting in there. These guys have been starved of success for the last 13, 14 years. Like, How did I keep my son as a Villa fan?
How did you keep going yourself? Never mind this one.
How did I keep my son as a Villa fan for the last 13 years? It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's actually incredible. If you could keep a child supporting Villa, unless you live around there, that's fucking hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
And I tell you,
Well,
yeah,
here we are.
Paddy's giving me tips as we speak, and how I can keep my kids or make them Villa fans. I'm going down the route of you know, I'm going to pump it into their rooms at night. You know, be a Villa fan.
No,
be a Villa fan,
you
be
just
a
gotta
Villa
be
fan.
subtle. You just gotta be subtle. You just gotta let it roll.
You told me you weren't subtle when you said Stephen wanted to be a Chelsea fan. You said, "Who's going to take you to Chelsea?" Well, that's not subtle.
Is that not subtle? No.
That's like a sledgehammer. That's brilliant. That's exactly what I want to do myself.
Yeah,
That was
but
great.
Is that not subtle? I think that's very subtle.
I suppose it is in a way. I suppose it is.
Oh.
Comments underneath if you think that's subtle or
I'm
not.
pretty sure Stephen is watching because I got a message there a few minutes ago asking me what player was it.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah, I see. There's a lot of comments. Sorry, by the way, doing it on the phone, it's very difficult to pop up the comments. I really apologize for that because there's some bangers in there, and you know, if I touch the phone, it's going to fall down.
If you want to ask me what player it was, I'm not going to answer you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. But I just got so much respect for the guy to imagine he fucking knew who I was. That's the fucking mad thing.
We hope.
Anyway.
We hope he could have just been delirious with the win and just decided to point at a fucking random.
Maybe just went, look at that lad now.
Yeah.
I reckon he needs to be nice to people.
Well, in fairness, I could imagine when you're sitting against the bollard, you're probably spacing. Look, we've had, and I mean that in a nice way, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you're probably staring into nothingness, and against your constant, this guy probably needs to pick me up here. and if that's what happened, that's brilliant, you know. And but anyway, talk about the game, Paddy. Talk about the goals and Ollie Watkins got his goal in the last minute.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins, greatest striker this side of the equator. I think we'll say.
Yeah, maybe. No, good finish. Should have scored earlier in the game, but Bertie's goal. I love Bertie's goal. It just smacks of a guy who got a chance to come on early in the game, followed up his shot in a way that most players wouldn't have followed it up. And there he was, ready when the ball broke to him again. Couldn't have placed it any better in the corner. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Exactly.
Most people missed it. The stadium was half empty, people trying to get back into their seats after half time. Me included. I'm sorry. I saw it on the screen. But it's all second goal, so it's all good.
It's all good. I was sitting beside a wonderful man. If anybody in Birmingham has a pleasure of meeting him tonight, he's the chairman of the Californian Lions. It's Rick Leong. We met him earlier in the Sacred Heart, and as I got to my seat, I was like, oh my God, I'm after winning the lottery. I'm sitting beside one of the nicest Villa fans in the world, and we had great crack during the game, and I was delighted to be there with him. And I wish him a safe trip home back to California. But that's the beauty about Aston Villa, Paddy. The beauty about Aston Villa is that there was a ton of people came over from the United States to watch Villa today. Like, we come from Ireland, yeah, that's fine. It's a 50-minute journey. People over here from the States. Rick was at the Leicester game. No, he wasn't. He was at Chelsea game.
He missed the Leicester game.
He missed the Leicester game. He was at the Chelsea game, and that's the way Villa are becoming. They're becoming a universal force, and long may it continue.
This club brings you great friends, absolutely great friends. We met Nathan today from East Anglia. You just don't know when people are going to pop up into your Villa life, because you arrive at the stadium and you go, Jesus, I haven't seen you in ages. How are you? Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. We met Sai.
Met Sai Staples.
Sai comments on nearly every. He's probably driving at the moment, I'd say.
Sai's on his way back to Blackpool.
So I'd say he's raging. He can't comment on our video. Yeah. But Sai, I am eternally grateful. You're a great guy. It was great to meet you today for the first time, and such a lovely guy. You and your mates. I hope you got to
Nuts for
We're
you
going,
were getting it was nuts for station, yeah. We were saying that. Yeah.
Nuts for
But you're not,
services,
if you're there already, you've broken the speed limit, so
maybe he's pulled in a Nutsford at this stage.
yeah, maybe so.
Maybe he's watching the podcast.
Maybe so.
But such great people we met today.
Absolutely.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we met Brian Little.
We met Brian Little, yeah. And in fairness, Brian Little, man about town, just walking out, hands in his pockets. We said, Brian, any chance of a photograph? Yeah, absolutely. We had a bit of a chat with him, and I started following him when Ron Atkinson was manager, and then obviously Brian Little came along shortly after that. Period of great success for Aston Villa. I literally myself and another lad almost minute for minute replayed the 1994 and the 1996 League Cup wins outside there a moment ago, talking about people, and it was, this is the beauty of it. And I obviously don't get it sitting in my podcasting boudoir, as I like to call it, my podcasting boudoir. But like when you come over here, you can tell I'm giddy, and I haven't
okay to be giddy,
but I haven't drank a ton of pints today. That's for later on. But adrenaline would get me through anyway. And as anybody knows, I'm a chatty person.
I was worried about you this morning. You were struggling this morning.
I had a blocked sinus this morning, and I thought it was never. I actually one stage, Paddy, I turned around and goes, Paddy's there any chance you punch me in the face to try and sort this out. Paddy was talking about, he goes, I went back boxing during the week or whatever, and I goes, Paddy's there any chance you box me, try and sort out my sinus. But I had a sneeze on the way up to the Sacred Heart, and it sorted my life out. It was the most kind of how do I put it? It was the most it was like an epiphany of a sneeze that I had, and I was like, brilliant, I'm ready for the day now. So it was great, but things you don't think you're going to talk about in the podcast, things you don't think you're going to talk about in the podcast. But that's the way it's been. It's been up. It's been
one of those days, isn't it?
All downhill from there, and I mean downhill in a way because we're just we've got handbrake off now, and it's going to be a fantastic night. And I think Aston Villa have the handbrake off in a good way as well. We're unstoppable. But we've got a handbrake off. We've got a fellow steering the steering wheel, and that is absolutely.
We're not unstoppable. We're stoppable.
No,
but the most important thing is we sat here over a week ago, obviously, because we played Chelsea at 5:30 on a Saturday, and I said to you, imagine getting 9 points this week.
Yeah,
and we have them. We've got 9 points. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So, to everybody, embrace it. Don't get too down on how ugly we win.
The aesthetics. We're not very aesthetically pleasing ourselves. We can't really give out about things.
We're not going to see Andre Green scoring after 93 minutes to draw 3-3 with Sheffield United. We're not going to see a 5-5 draw with Nottingham Forest. We're going to see us grinding out a win to beat Nottingham Forest 2-0.
Comfortably.
Which was what it was. Did you ever see a more comfortable? And we'll call it a 1-0 because the second goal came very late.
But
it's the most comfortable.
And that's a great point, Paddy, that you mentioned, because I don't know how many corners they had, but it felt like they had more corners than I've had hot dinners. And, because it was just corner after corner after corner is and that was their thing. Somebody put in the comments a moment ago, actually, sorry, I'm tangential again here, but there was a really good moment in it where I think it was Awaniyi was going to break. And as we can, Emi Martinez came off his line and came out and cleared it. And I think that was probably the most. He had two saves. He had that one, and he had a save with his feet. I think that was probably the most under threat we were. But the rest of them were from corners.
He also came for one and paused, and he was right. He was right to pause it, and he let the play. And he probably could have came. I reckon he could have came and got it, but that was the most threatening they got, was getting into that box for that one. But yeah, I was never concerned today. Never once.
Neither was I.
Never once.
And
which is like let's roll back the clock about 6 months. We were always
every
worried.
corner we were terrified.
Yeah, always worried about everything that fucking happens. So here we are, beating Nottingham Forest 2-0. Like, we drew 1-1 with them when we should have fucking wiped the floor with them. We should have in the opposite fixture. So we have to enjoy it. We have to embrace it. So
That's it. You celebrate the wins because you never know when you're going to get another one, and that's always been my thing. And our motto for this weekend is we're here for a good time, not for a long time. So and we're living by it at the moment. Paddy, I started about, how long is it? Maybe 20 minutes ago. I started talking about man of the match, and we never came back to it. We were doing happy birthdays and everything.
Is there need? Is there need?
I think it's an interesting exercise, and the reason I think it's interesting is because I don't think there's a wrong answer. maybe after Leon Bailey, I don't think there's a wrong answer.
The wrong answer either. But if you had a gun to my head and asked me who the man of the match was, it's Dougie Luiz.
I talk about Dougie Luiz for whenever.
No, you'll talk about Dougie Luiz for 2 minutes now. And
yeah.
then I'll join
I said a moment. Now define a moment. If anyone can tell me what the definition of a moment is. Dougie Luiz was a pleasure to watch play in the midfield position there. I mean, like what you can pick up away when you're at the actual game is so different. So first of all, I think two things I picked up when you're at the game was Aston Villa play in this brilliantly structured formation when they're in possession with their two centre halves are completely isolated. I think that's a bad thing. I'll tell you why it's not. Because they play 4 in front of them. They play 2-4-1-2 is kind of how they played today. And it was brilliant. But the linchpin, the actual real linchpin was Dougie Luiz. And that's why it was a pleasure to watch him play today. His position and awareness, I thought today was excellent. And you know what? Himself and Mings was talking to him all the time. Mings was putting him in front of him. Mings was moving him around the place, and he was moving people in front of him. He was moving Emi Buendia around the place. He was making sure that Jacob Ramsey stayed in place. And that communication was something we just did not have under like there was some errant passes today. There was some passes to nobody. There was some passes to Ghost or whatever. And that's fine. I don't care about that. But Dougie Luiz was a pleasure to watch today. I thought John McGinn was a pleasure to watch today. But I actually would probably give man of the match today to. And if you were asking me 40 minutes ago, I probably wouldn't have said it. But
no matter what you say,
it's probably right.
It's not going to surprise me.
I'd probably give it to Tyrone Mings. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today.
And I think a case can be made for anybody. Anybody.
And Ezri Konsa had an unbelievably. Was it Ezri Konsa? I think had a brilliant tackle in the game. But I think Mings was brilliant today. I really think he was excellent today. And he had to deal with corners. He had to keep everybody organised at corners. And, that was their threat. And they didn't score from it. And as you say, there's probably no right or wrong answer, but I thought Mings was brilliant today. I really did. Really thought he was great.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Can't argue with Konsa either. Yeah. You could literally go through the team. I enjoyed watching Alex Moreno.
He's lightning. He's really fast in real life.
So quick.
He got to the ball. The one that was it who? I think it was. He was the one he got right to the end line, and he cut it back, and Emi Buendia, and it must have only gone a hair's breadth wide. And Buendia did unbelievably brilliant to get a foot in it. Like he just swung a foot at it, and it was brilliant. How Moreno got to that ball before it went out of play? Like he's really quick. Like, and that was my takeaway. But you know what? The great thing about him was Rick turned around to me at one stage, and he said, "It's nice to watch Moreno," and the two of us actually said the exact same thing in unison. When two people say the same thing together, it was like snap or cheese or whatever. So we turned around and we said,
"That wouldn't be me and you, would it?"
No, I don't let you talk, Paddy. But the two of us turned around and we both said the same sentence. We both said, "He's steady in attack and defence," and that exact line came out of both of our mouths, and that's what he is. So fair play to him. But I think do you know what? Do you know who's man of the match today, Paddy? Unai Emery.
100%.
Going to give it to Unai Emery.
100%. I want to give a shout out to my mate Derek, who was supposed to be with us today. He's messaging me here on my phone. Derek, I'm sorry we didn't get to do it today, but we will have an epic weekend, won't we? Eventually, when Del Boy arrives up to us. So we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Absolutely. Man. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm really sorry we can't share up a load of comments here because it's tiny on the phone screen. Thank you so much for absolutely everything. It's been an amazing weekend. We've got we will throw together some video footage of what we've had because it's been a really, really, really cool weekend. It's really a really great weekend, and I hope you like that as well. But as always, everything you do for the podcast is so it's so appreciated, and I mean that. And we're here on the Aston Social, and we're going to go downstairs. We're going to have a few more pints, and
And
Who knows?
if you're here, come and say hello. Don't be shy.
Absolutely.
Come
Yeah.
and say hello.
Yeah. We want to drink this in with Villa fans. We want to drink in the atmosphere. We want to drink in the
Literally
positivity,
drink it in.
and we want to drink in. and I know I said earlier on that bad Guinness is better than good carling, but I'm drinking good carling at the moment. But listen, thanks very much everybody for sticking with us today. Half the time we weren't even coherent, and really appreciate it. So with that, we're actually going to abruptly. How do I end the podcast? So we're actually going to.
What are you asking me for?
We're going to leave it at that,
I'm
guys.
the Lily here.
Yeah, Paddy doesn't know then that when we're sitting in front of computers, never mind on a phone. So listen, thanks so much, absolutely everybody. I want to say thanks to people in the whole pub as well, to Zoe in the whole pub as well. Thank you very much. Leaving us in afterwards. As I say, the world is our oyster now because we're in 6th place. So get onto your travel agents. Is what I'll say to you between now and then.
Get your passport.
Get your passport. Get your passport sorted. Yeah, make sure it's in date for July and August of this year, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side there. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
I'm just going to end it because I don't. I'm just going to end it because I don't have a ending outro loaded up. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great night.